steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Friday, October 25th. Got a great weekend in store here for you, starting with our action tonight. We know the big story, certainly tonight. It's been 5 days. We've been waiting. But the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers get underway tonight. The matchup that's occurred the most in baseball history. We get it once again. We haven't gotten it for a while, but the two powerhouses of the sport will meet for the championship here. We'll get at least a week full of games. Feels like we might get a few more. Feels like this one could go the distance between these two teams and these stars here. And of course, with a little bit of sadness over the World Series here with the passing of Fernando Valenzuela this week. I saw the shoulder patch that they'll have on their uniforms with Freddie being honored here before the game tonight, and we'll get your plays, opinions. We'll talk about the series. I'm on the Dodgers to win the World Series. Hey, I'm not a big fan of these guys, but I'm going to try them here, of course, to win over the Yankees. Should be a great series. We'll talk about each and every game, every time here on the Morning Steam. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here today on the show. Hey, I'm a man who's made a series of bad life choices, but it's led me here to this moment with you guys. I couldn't be more proud to have you as my audience here in the chat. Let's say hello to the chat all-stars. Hello, stars! And see who's here with us today. We'll talk about some of the action from last night as well. Ziggy opened the doors for us today. And then, of course, it was my man, my right-hand man. He's my Ed McMahon. He's Thomas Lewis. Doing a great job here in the chat. He was getting some accolades last night. Hope you guys caught me on the show last night. Hey, I'm a part of that show, man. Just because it was my first appearance, I was pretty busy on Thursday nights during the first part of the year, but we're going to make a point to be with the guys here on Sports Money Network for the Thursday night coverage. And man, did we have a blast last night with that game with the Vikings and the Rams. Hey, like this video, subscribe to our channel, give it the thumbs up, and subscribe to Thomas says it into his phone. Please do not unsubscribe. Okay, he's fixed it there. Yes, unsubscribe and then subscribe back. Teasing you, Thomas. Thank you. I know Thomas uses his phone to dictate what he says in there. Do not unsubscribe to the sports or unsubscribe. It might cost me my job here, actually, but again, I was the one who chose to come over here. I left a 42,000 subscriber channel, 43,000 now. I follow it closely, believe me. I follow those guys over there and love watching their content, of course, but it was my choice to come over here and be with Mike Money and his budding crew here moving forward. So make no mistake about my choice here to come over here. There was no pressure or anything like that. It was a conscious choice that I wanted to make to come over here cultivate this audience a little bit. I'm so glad some of you found me over here and are riding with me still. Again, we give a really complete show. We're not just, we're throwing out picks, we're throwing out opinions, but we just try to cover the whole landscape of sports and sports betting. It's what I like to do. And I feel comfortable doing it on this platform with this big canvas. So glad I got Thomas. But last night on the show with the big game, they were talking about Thomas's leadership in the chat and how he does his job here. Not even a job, right? It's just something that he just started doing, and he enjoys doing it, and I enjoy being with him doing this for us. So did have a little bit of consensus going on last night. Certainly, we had the Boston Celtics over the Washington Wizards. They pretty much crushed them. The Spurs were a little flat, certainly in the second half in that game against Dallas yesterday, but no problem there. Good NBA card here last night. We picked up a premium pick winner late with the Timberwolves and the Kings game to go over here last night. Of course, the big game, the Vikings and the Rams here yesterday. What a I don't know where to start, but I know where it ended on that safety. It didn't end necessarily right on the safety, but for all intents and purposes, that's where it ended. As the Vikings lost to the Rams 30-20. It was the second win in a row for the Rams, and they got a healthy Cooper Kupp. They've got a healthy Puka Nacua. As soon as the word was starting to bounce out that Nacua was going to be in there, I got to tell you, my attention and focus shifted to the Rams. We did put them out as a premium pick release. I was torn, I got to admit. You heard me in the show early on, although we did talk up some of the Rams players yesterday, certainly for the matchup. Talked about how I liked the passing games very, very much, and I was kind of going to fade the Vikings run game a little bit. What we saw is a healthy Rams defense, I think, was more clear. Probably they might have won it. I don't want to say they would have won it without Nacua, because the numbers were awesome. In fact, Kupp and Nacua combined for 157 yards and 12 receptions. Most of it was Nacua, but the defense being healthier felt like the key for me for the Rams in that game. So I knew they were getting healthier on defense. They still might have done a good job, even if Nacua wasn't back. But, you bring a guy back who hadn't practiced at all, and you hope you can fit him into a couple of plays, a couple of routes, or you could just use him every play because the guy's a dynamo, and they get that win. Kyron Williams on nearly 100 yards rushing for the Rams. Stafford, 279 yards and 4 touchdowns. I had a nice prop there on the show last night with both quarterbacks to combine for over 500 yards. That was our play there on that one. So hope you guys were able to join us. If not, just know Thursday nights here on the Sports Money Network, we have a companion coverage of Thursday Night Football. We'll also have companion coverage tomorrow with UFC 308 coming to us from Abu Dhabi. Hope also, please don't mind my technical issues here right now. We're on the process of fixing those. It is going to be a couple of days. Bear with me, but hopefully I'm getting through to you guys here. It's bothering me more than it is you, believe me, but I need my notes. I need to be able to give you guys a decent show. So please bear with me on that. Except for MMA Guy, he gets a special pass. He can make some funny jokes and some criticisms about it, but nobody else can. All right? Just so we know where it stands in the chat. I love you guys so much. Again, this has been really one of the most rewarding things I've done is to come and do this show on this channel, even though the Morning Steam has been around for a few years now, no doubt. Some of you know and have been around to be able to, I don't want to say bring this audience over here. You guys are free to choose any shows that you watch on YouTube with sports gambling, but this crew, and you guys are all around the chat rooms, and I try to get around too. Let's say hello. Jermaine is here. Lando Lewis is here today. Ron Young. Hello, Ron. Nice to have you. He's a Sports Money member there. And he says, Happy Friday. And AOD, thank you for being here today as well. Big O, thank you. Oh, man, Big O, I'd love some scrambled eggs right about now. Last night after the show, I had to run out. I went out to the Bell last night. It was kind of late. Sancho's here today. Terrell, good morning. John Shaw here today. Cliff Lloyd also here today. subscribe to our channel. And let's see what Terrell's saying here about the World Series. He says the Dodger lineup is better from top to bottom. He doesn't trust those Yankee bottom of the lineup there. You know, you got certainly you think about these two offenses right now. We've seen the rosters here hopefully getting finalized for the series here. Looks like my man Vesia is going to make the rotation for the Dodgers. They've already said Game 4 is going to be Johnny Holstaff. But the Dodgers do have some concerns tonight with Jack Flaherty. There has been a distinct decrease in his velocity here of late. And we saw him struggle there going up against the top pitcher in Garrett Cole. We'll preview the game certainly, but look, for the Dodgers, you got my man Tommy Edman. You got Kike on fire right now. Of course, Mookie, Shohei, Freeman, Teoscar, Will Smith. Hey, he didn't hit. He hit 158 in the playoffs last night. Will Smith his wife had a baby. That can do some things to someone. Seems like we always hear those stories, right? They play a little better for the Yankees. Certainly, Rizzo. Look, he might not have it right anymore with the glove necessarily, but hit 429 certainly so far, and Volpe's hit pretty good as well. So there's a little bit in that bottom of the lineup. They haven't, they're at the bottom of the lineup for a reason, but they do have a little bit of numbers there. Glieber close to 300, but still you got Giancarlo, you got Verdugo, Aaron Judge, he did come through, still hit only 161 so far, and Jazz, of course, kind of struggling here, no doubt. So we'll see. The Dodgers are hitting 251 in the postseason with 20 home runs. The Yankees are hitting 237 in the postseason with 13 home runs. So can't wait for tonight. I don't mind Dodgers and Yankees. Yes, I'm on the Dodgers. They're my least favorite team in the world. Shout out all my Dodger fans. I say least favorite teams. I mean, I'm better. I have Dodger gear even, but I mean, I got every team. So call me flaky. That's okay. I'll put on a Dodger hat and root for these guys here to maybe bring home a bet. All right. And Sancho says that the highlight was the ref missing that face mask. No doubt. I mean, but I do take umbrage with some of the commentators that I've seen saying, well, he missed that face mask and he was right in front. He was looking right at it. And obviously it wasn't, because otherwise he would have thrown the flag. And they did admit in the post game that they missed the call there. The other thing that I always take umbrage with, not with Sancho, certainly. I love Sancho, but the commentators here or some of the talking heads like me on YouTube or wherever we're at, saying that, anytime you see a game with a lot of penalties, which is probably all of them nowadays, they're like, that was a terrible, that was they call too many penalties, and then they say it was a poorly officiated game. I don't know. That was a terrible officiating. Let them play. Well, we could just eliminate them and just have a free-for-all. Stop cheating. I think it's the key there. Hey, we got some big-time college football steam rolling in right now to get us started here on the show a little bit. A big game this weekend between, big game, but Big Ten anyway, Nebraska and Ohio State. We're seeing some line movement here this morning on the under. They're pouring in a little money here while we're on the air at under 48 here, it looks like, between Nebraska and Ohio State. I saw this one as high as 49.5. I imagine this one could go down to maybe not on this move, but we might see this one go a little bit lower here, maybe to 47, maybe to 46.5. We'll see, but there's certainly some steam coming in on the under here right now. Also, just moments ago, more steam came in here. Troy and Arkansas State. I'm showing this one down to 51 right now between Troy and Arkansas State, as that one continues to move lower. It opened, I believe, as high as 53.5. So Troy and Arkansas State under, taking a little steam here this morning. All right, let me continue on here. Up Sancho up there. Hi, Sancho. With Terrell. Let's see here. John, don't say that here. Those guys are good guys. We did the safety dance last night with the safety there. Ben, you do some crazy things to attract a little attention, and then you got to do it every time, right? So good thing I like that old song. Okay, Ziggy here. He says, going back to the 3 past World Series game ones, it's gone over. Fernando here today joining us, talking about wins with the Celtics, the Mavs, the Thunder, and don't forget, we've got a little league soccer action here. We've got domestic league play here tonight, as well as MLS playoff action tonight with Atlanta at Miami. Miami, big favorite, of course, here to start the playoffs with a win. We're getting into the series now at this point after those wild card games that Atlanta won a couple of nights ago, but also we've got EPL action too in Serie A. We've got action from Spain today. Mexico tonight. We've got some Bundesliga here this afternoon and some League One as well. So soccer action here today. All right. See what we got here. Anybody else? Dougie here today. He says the Dodgers smack Subhumans here today. They'll be, guess I didn't finish that part either. Just join the guys tomorrow for UFC action here on the channel. They'll be along with the coverage from Abu Dhabi here starting. It's very, very early actually when those fights get underway on Saturday. So make sure you're ready with the guys. They'll have to get up a little bit early here to get the coverage going on Saturday. So join us for our companion coverage here on the channel with the UFC tomorrow. All right, and I'll have a package of UFC plays as well. Dougie says he likes the Dodgers to win the World Series here in this one. Gerardo, good morning. Kawhi Brooks here today. Thank you for joining us. Thomas Bird had a good day yesterday. Gerardo's ready to go with his plays. Yankees, Dodgers, first 5 under. John says the Yankees will have the better pitching in this one. Gerardo also under 4.5, maybe minus 120 in the first 5. And Patrick's here today as well. Good morning to Patrick. And Big O talking about could Arenado be on his way out of St. Louis? Maybe try to land on a contender because we're just not seeing the same old Cardinals there is what it feels like. Maybe he's kind of subtly telling him to give him a chance here with someone moving forward is what it feels like more so. All right. Darrell says Will's going to hit one after having a baby with his wife. All right. And Thomas saying, good run here for New York. Going to win a bunch of championships here moving forward. Thank you, Thomas. Joseph Alvarado, he joined us last night as well. Here's M. Looks. Good morning to Public Enemy. today. Thank you for joining me, everybody in the chat. Real Madrid Doge in the chat today, too. Thank you. All right, we'll preview the World Series. I'll give a pick on the game here, certainly. And Dougie said that Dodger bullpen, though, better than the Yankee bullpen. So maybe they got the Yankees with the better starting at this point. You'd think the Dodgers, right? History would indicate that the Dodgers have terrific pitching. It's really what they've been able to, accomplish what they have, even if they haven't won the World Series. They've great pitching year in and year out. I talked about it here over the last several weeks, right? How the Dodgers always seem to come up peasy. They always seem to have, great pitching, one guy after another. Then they get hurt because of, remember what I said? The Dodgers have more arm injuries than any other organization. So what happens here is they kind of, maybe the coaching is good. They rush their guys along. They obviously instruct them a certain way, but they get hurt. So they're going into this World Series with a little bit of a makeshift rotation. It feels like we said, Johnny Holstaff here is going to be, going in game number 4 here. It feels like so. All right, Dougie says this lineup is the best Dodgers lineup ever. You think about the 1977 World Series, and I think it was just a different time and a different era, but I certainly like that team that they had there. But yeah, maybe they didn't match up. No one maybe matches up with a lineup like this necessarily, but you think about those Dodger teams, especially the famous infield, right, with Steve Garvey at first base, Davey Lopes at second base, Bill Russell at shortstop. Just a terrific team that the Dodgers had in 1977. But it was Reggie Jackson that hit the 3 home runs off of Bob Welch on 3 consecutive pitches to win, to help the Yankees go on to win that World Series in 1977, and then again in 78 as well. So, all right. Yeah, they've got those bats. Okay. Hey, listen, got to do a little, Public Enemy's working. That's awesome, Public Enemy. That's so cool that I get to ride around with you here in the truck. Hey, all right, I'm going to just talk real quick here about my picks over at winnable.com. One thing that I do here, I come on and I try to give a bunch of free picks, but I'm an old school tout, man, and no one's ever going to change that. There's nothing more awesome than the challenge of trying to recommend to your friends, right, what you think is going to happen in pro and college sports. So I'm never going to stop firing on my picks, but I look for your support here on the channel. I left a company that I charged $25, $35, $45, and it was good business, man, believe me. But you know what? Sometimes we make decisions. And when I came over here, I said, I want to be a man of the people. So for just 67 cents a day, you get those same picks from me, for better or for worse, over at Winnable. Hey, we did have some nice premium pick winners yesterday, including Old Dominion. We had yesterday, and man, how could I flake out after I talked up Pittsburgh a little bit there, and reading on it later on, and I'm like, man, these Syracuse Orangemen, they dominate the statistics every time. I don't like to be that guy that, flip-flops, so I'm not going to dwell on that one. We had the Rams certainly here last night as our premium pick play. We split the card a little bit in hockey. We had the Stars on the road yesterday. We in the NHL, so we're going to have some premium pick plays here today as well in the NHL, in the NBA, in college football, and of course the World Series here tonight. So all weekend, join me over at Winnable. Get picks from me all weekend. We're involved right now with some matches with our free VIP service and here. So please join me over at Winnable right now. We're in with Thomas Mahach against Jack Draper. That one's going to be close here as well. We did bring home winner earlier with the VIP selections with Lucia Bronzetti over Xinchuang in some tennis action. So, hey, join me over there over at Winnable. You get more plays from me all weekend. I'm here every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific to give some free winners, but you can get more plays from me, my best plays, over at Winnable. All right. Thanks, gang. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% on those packages. So if 67 cents a day is a little bit over your bankroll, you can get it down to about 50 cents and probably get about, anywhere from 5, 7, maybe 10 or 12 plays a day. And on college football Saturday, we're going to be rolling probably a couple of dozen on that card tomorrow. Plus, you'll get my UFC picks as well, and all the sports, NBA, NHL. We're just days away from the college basketball season. Today is the sports equinox, where all 4 major sports play line games. You can stay in the preseason of some of the games with the NBA and NHL there, but that doesn't count. We got to be regular season to have a sports equinox. We got one here tonight with all of our games here tonight. All right, let's say hello to a few more friends and then get started with the show. So let's take a look. Joe here today, Johnny here as well. Hello. And Terrell talking about Mr. October. I know. MMA guy, here it is. Okay, so what's happened here? I ordered it from China. You probably get, you're rich, you're loaded, so you've got a big fat computer that came, but I had to order from Amazon, and it said it won't be here for 5 more days. So, hey, you've got it going on, MMA guy, but all you got is a chat. All you got's your chat. So I appreciate it. I haven't seen a pic from MMA guy yet, though, especially in the MMA. So, but he's MMA guy. He loves MMA. I love MMA as well. So we have a lot in common. And, man, I go back to my first UFC was UFC 7. That's how old I am. I didn't know about it until the UFC 7. And you had to go back and watch it on we used to go to Blockbuster and pick up VHS tapes to watch the first 6 of them. So, all right. Yeah, here we go. Well, thank you, Public Enemy. That's so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's see, who else? Anybody else rolling in? Justin's here. He figures the monologue's over. He rolls in here. Justin, he loves parades. By the way, 1K is here. And, well, let's get into the baseball here momentarily. We got Sharpie here, so he can give us his insight as well. Awesome. Thank you, Lewis. I do think it is a great platform, so that's why I felt the confidence of shifting over here. It probably wasn't the best decision of my life to leave a 42,000 channel and a big giant network with a billionaire owner there, but hey, you know what? I want to come over here and make a little something by myself, and at this point of my career, it's not gonna make it or break it. That would be nice here. Hey, if we just picked all winners, that'd make it easy. All right, I got my computer from Temu, says Fernando. And there it is. Look at this. Right? Sharpie watched UFC 1, 2, 3. I don't think it cost anything back in those days, Sharpie. I think we just watched it. Royce Gracie was hanging on with his gi. You wondered about the future of it, right? Because Royce Gracie would just get you down there in the clinch and he'd be kicking you with his heel in your kidneys. And you're like, is this really exciting? I don't know. So, all right, here we go. Nasty Day. That's when he watched it as well. I mean, we had some guys out there. Tank Abbott was coming out there. Big Tank Abbott, remember? All right, let's get into it. Sharpie's here, so we might want to get rolling with the show. no weight class, remember, Nate? And it was a tournament. You'd have to play the whole, you have to like fight 4 or 5 guys in one night. It was like a bracket. Moving on to the next round. You're like bloody and cut up and everything, but how about Shamrock in there? Don't forget as well. All right, let's get into the games here right now with Dan Severn, yeah, no doubt about it. It's come a long way. I remember we used to do it for the boxing too. I'm a little too old probably to do this now, even though I know the guys do it. Maybe this is what the guys could do. They have like to have a few cocktails when we're watching the UFC, right? But we used to do a thing where, we'd flip a coin, and you were stuck with your fighter, and you took a shot if you lost, or maybe you took a shot if you win too. I don't know. All right, let's go get into it right now and see what Sharpie tells us about the situation here tonight. Certainly the concerns about Jack Flaherty and the decrease in his velocity here dramatically in that last start. You wonder if he's hit the wall here. You hope there's no injury or anything like that. But certainly the Dodgers have concerns here with Flaherty a little bit here tonight. Maybe he could just regain the form. He was obviously performing kind of at his peak level just a short time before that, it felt like, in a couple of starts. So maybe it was just a little bit of short-term fatigue, but there is some red flags right now on Jack Flaherty moving into this game. Now, against this type of lineup, we could be getting into the bullpen early with these guys. Look, an 8.5. That really, when you got Garrett Cole pitching in a game and this total is 8.5, I know these lineups are stacked, but man, that is a big number here. Even for the World Series, where I don't know, if you go back, you see usually not 8.5s, especially in Game 1 where you've got 2 aces. I'll say. I mean, Flaherty's holding down that role here certainly right now. And Garrett Cole, well, yeah, could be on the downside a little bit. He's just any given moment, it feels like that Cole could have a stellar start even against a dominant lineup. He's that kind of pitcher, certainly. So beautiful day here, mid-70s in Los Angeles. Might be a traffic nightmare, certainly. In fact, many people have just started to leave for the stadium right now, it feels like. But to get into it a little bit with these lineups, see what Sharpie says, see what you guys have to say. I've got certainly some up arrows here for some of these Dodgers. I think it's a good matchup, quite frankly, for Mookie, for Teoscar. I've got the up arrow on Kike, Pajes as well, and Will Smith. I'm looking for their props here, maybe to go over. I'm not going to take Shohei tonight. The prices are high, and maybe I'm a little bit neutral. I'm not fading Shohei here, but I don't think I'm going to be taking him in Game 1. I'm also not going to be taking my man Tommy Edman, and probably not going to be taking Muncy as well. We got Freddie Freeman getting a good, pretty clean bill of health. I imagine that ankle turn has got to be bothering him a little bit, but the reports are that it's basically alleviated itself now. With an ankle, you're any given moment away from re-injuring it. It feels like. So hey, I saw the talk about the rosters, and I haven't seen them yet, right? But looks like my man Alex Vesia is going to be making the rotation, or the bullpen, making the roster. And it really felt like in a couple of those games, Vesia was the man missing from the Dodgers in their bullpen movement, and their who was coming in anyway. So I think Vesia, to me, we'll see, but I've got Vesia as a key player in this series for the Dodgers moving forward. I think the subtle news to me is the inclusion of Vesia. Hopefully he makes this roster here right now. He's been bothered by I want to say it's either an oblique strain or a lat injury, something of that nature. It's a upper body injury that has been bothering my man Alex Vesia. So, all right, let's hear it maybe a little bit from the chat, and we'll talk about the keys here a little bit. I think for me and some of the talk with the Yankees lineup, I certainly think Lieber has a nice matchup. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton against Flaherty, good matchup for me here. Also Volpe, probably a good matchup for me against Flaherty. But I'd be down on Soto tonight if Flaherty is good. If Flaherty's good and healthy and doing a good job, I would think Flaherty against Soto is a better matchup for Flaherty here, and also against Jazz. I don't know if Jazz can have the splits, basically. Also, Rizzo, Wells, Verdugo. I'm a little bit down on this Yankee lineup in game one. So let's get to some comments from you guys here. Appreciate everyone checking in. Ziggy went first, and he says, I've got the over here in this one. Nate talking about his cashes here yesterday. Thank you, Nate. And Fernando, ready to go Yankees here. Justin's ready to go Yankees as well. Nathan Cerna's here, good as well. So Sharpie's saying maybe Jack just needs the rest. I'm getting all this time off here, but struggled on regular rest this year and in the playoffs. So with a little extra rest here, 3.71 ERA. So thank you, Sharpie. 6 days rest, a 1.52 ERA, and maybe his workload because he has improved so dramatically. You run deeper in games when you're pitching well and things like that. So Flaherty, became an ace all of a sudden. Remember, all these Dodger thank you. All these Dodger injuries, they still made it here. Funny, right? Sometimes when they didn't have the injuries, they didn't make it. So, all right. And look, I'm still, I'm down on Dave Roberts just because he's been kind of a jerk. But I've always been fond of Dave Roberts. I've admired Dave Roberts. So I'll just leave it at that right now. I mean, the one thing I'll say, the Padres, they could have had Dave Roberts. So remember, he was, with the Padres doing some coaching. He was kind of trying to bring the analytics to the Padres when the Padres weren't analyticing, if that's a word. And, picked up with the Dodgers. He's from San Diego. So I watched, maybe even watched him play football at Rancho Buena Vista High School. All right. And here's let's see, we got more picks coming in. And 1K says he'll take a Nerfy here. R. Tomps likes this one to go over tonight. And come on, Sharpie. They were definitely missing him in a few spots there in the last round. I think even Sharpie can admit to that. All right, and John Schall says maybe Garrett Cole is going to be doing a little Gaylord Perry out there, if you know what I mean. All right. PEF is here today. Wine Time's ready for a big weekend. Wine Time, and don't forget, and big Big Ten action tonight with Rutgers and USC, the classic Big Ten matchup that everyone's been waiting for. Actually, the big game tonight, we know what it is. It's right here in Las Vegas tonight. How about it? Boise State UNLV game tonight. Is this going to be the eliminate the champion? Well, I'm sure they'll have another chance, but a big playoff game, it feels like, for the tournament, for the college football playoff. Because one of these teams is going to be live here after this game, it feels like, and one might not be. Michelangelo likes the over here in World Series Game 1. Lean towards the Dodgers. He says, all right, let me see. I just want to call a little bit up here and see if I can get a few more numbers. You guys are holding it down. When we get to the World Series, we're not too worried about, I want to look at some head-to-head, certainly, but all the stuff we've talked about all year. Hey, Reddy Samedi's here. Cole has a 3.3 ERA and a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio over 16 and a third innings and 3 starts. He likes the Yankees. Hugh Janis joins us in the chat. Great to have you here today, Hugh. And let's see what Sharpie says about what I was saying about Flaherty there. Changed the mechanics a little bit. So this is, he's different than what he was before. And there you see, he says Flaherty, though, will not get past. What is the outs? I didn't look at the outs prop. I imagine it's probably right around there, right? At 15 plus, maybe? Maybe you guys can tell me on that. And Robert McCormick on the Dodgers here in this one. Nate here will take, I think this is Dodger blue because of the blue square. Minus, I'm not sure, but that'd be a big plus price certainly there. And Sharpie says, Cole, not good on long rest this year. And Twisted says the Yankees are going to be the champ. All right. Well, I'm on the Dodgers, so I would think that they should start off with a victory in Game 1. I know there'll be two-way action between everybody in the chat. 15 and a half there. Okay, thank you. I figured that much there, Sharpie. So appreciate that. Appreciate your input today. True YouTube legend here joining us in the chat, my friend Sharpie. Really, you guys are everyone great in the chat there, but do feel like we got an expert, a true expert there, and you guys as well. So thank you to Sharpie and everybody in the chat. Enjoy the World Series tonight. I'll take the Dodgers in Game 1. I got a premium play, of course, on World Series Game number 1. So go ahead if you guys. I'll give you one more chance here to make any other plays with the game today. And let's see here. Joseph Alvarado is Russell Westbrook MVP. Well, that's a way to change the subject. And we'll get into the NBA here with our big card tonight, certainly, and talk a little NBA basketball next. So maybe we could transition here a little bit. I was just looking at some of the BVP over here on the game tonight a little bit. You got some good numbers here, certainly. Rizzo, long-term numbers against Flaherty with 3 home runs and 21 total at-bats here. You got Kike with 4 extra base hits and 19 at-bats against Cole. Freeman, 4 extra base hits and 19 at-bats against Cole, 7 Ks here. Some strong pitching matchups, so for Cole against Teoscar. Teoscar just 5 for 26 with a home run. Let's see here. Tommy Edman 0 for 5. Shohei just 4 for 20 against Cole with a home run and 3 RBIs and a 638 OPS. And Soto just 1 for 8 against Flaherty with an extra base hit. 5 walks, should be noted. I think there. Jazz, just 1 appearance against Flaherty. And Flaherty against this lineup, against this roster, allowing a 327 batting average, 11 walks and 12 Ks for Flaherty, 52 at-bats. The Yankees batting 327 against him. So, okay, thanks, everybody. And let's see here. Old E joining us today. Nice to have you, Old E. He's working today, so he's just listening here, it feels like. That really makes, listen to you guys saying that you're working and you're listening. That really is a boost to my confidence and my huge ego that I have, obviously. All right, no one's Nolan Ryan, John. Come on. And Nolan Ryan didn't get his, he didn't get his just due playing in the postseason. Didn't get a lot of chances to play in the postseason. We know that. All right, that's it for the World Series, guys, tonight. Game number 1. Way to start it off on a Friday night here tonight. Okay, let's move on here, get the show rolling with our basketball card tonight and see what you guys have moving forward here with an exciting card, big card here tonight. But first, I do want to cover a little bit of steam coming in here right now in college football for tomorrow between Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech. We're seeing a steam move right now on the under. They've gone under 53.5. It looks like it's going to 53 or lower here. The total was as high as 55.5 on the opener. Virginia Tech favored in the game by maybe a touchdown or a little more. And that total is dropping right now here on the morning steam. Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech moving under. More steam that came in when we were on the World Series preview there is on Auburn. Auburn's taking money against Kentucky. They looked pretty good last week. We were on Auburn. They covered. And right now, a 2.5-point spread could be heading to 2, could be heading to 1.5. Kentucky, maybe they've started to give they've given some back here of late. So Auburn is taking steam here right now on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Okay, let's get back to it, though, here real quick. Just want to take a look at some info here. There we go, with the 76ers and the Raptors today in our first matchup. The Sixers have won 5 straight meetings against the Raptors coming into this one. You got the Sixers favored currently by 5, the total at 219.5. I'm showing the sharp books have moved up here now to the Sixers minus 5.5 or so here tonight right now. So pretty big favorite here on the road when you don't have the man in the lineup. Certainly here moving forward, like I said, we'll have to see what happens to some of these injured stars. Maybe it's time to usher in a new era on some of these guys here a little bit, but the Sixers will still have a lineup that includes Tyrese Maxey, certainly as their big force here tonight. But man, 5 points does seem like a lot against anybody when, well, especially you got a Toronto team going to be trying to find them. Do I have the hiccups right now? Let's not go there. The Toronto Raptors here trying to find themselves a little bit here. Let's take a look at the injuries. I see some new names on there here after the first game already. Is that Quickly is already down. He's doubtful in this one for Toronto. We know Barrett going to be doubtful here again tonight. Olynyk is out. Jacoby Walter will be out as well. The Sixers, we know their issues, certainly with their stars, Paul George and Joel Embiid, out here indefinitely. So a widely reported steam did come in on the under here, but I don't know how much it's truly moved. The total's pretty much been 219 the whole time. Maybe it was up to 220, but they reported the move on the under here. I don't know if I necessarily like the move to the under. Both teams, of course, coming in 0-1 so far this season. Just check, see if there's been any other moves here before I make my commitment, because I'm just going to go over here in this one at 219. And let's get your plays here. Both teams went over in their first game, mostly because of giving up a ton of points. Raptors lost by 30, 136 to 106. Meanwhile, the Sixers gave up 124 points in their opener. All right. See if we got some plays here. I'm catching up here a little bit. Here we go. Justin will start us off. He likes the Sixers team total over here today, so I'm okay with that. Given my pick as well. John Shaw says it's going to be maybe a dog night. Maybe you want to take the Raptors here. Michelangelo's with me on the over here. Good to see you, Michelangelo. And that might be it, actually. Markel here today as well. What did Markel, when I singled you out, what did you say yesterday? Was it yesterday? You were had a great quip, and it was something that also came to fruition. I'm trying to remember. He likes Maxi's points. I assume he likes the over. I will assume all NBA season that if you guys just say points, where you like the over, because no one bets the under on props except me. All right, I can't. Okay, Terrell says this is a bad matchup. You got two of the worst here going at it. Twisted likes the over here as well. How about that? We definitely have some over support here in this one, so. I'll go over as well. And JW saying the Sixers and that bench here a little bit. Barnes and Dick are the only. And he says the better, B squad. And, certainly, Dick and Barnes are, in the starting lineup here at this point. Markel says Barnes under again. I've got Dick under. I've got Dick under, Grady Dick. Under. He's probably my only fade in this game, actually. I do like the over in the game. I think Dick here. Yeah, I'm neutral on Barnes. For me, I'm going to be over here on Davion Mitchell, I think, and Agbajai as well here. Maybe if I'm getting a little bit tricky. And also Andre Drummond. The veteran, I'm going to probably go over with him. So again, I think Mike hit it last night. We were talking on the show. He says he likes how I put the prop information in there a little bit, or focusing. Here's the thing: I miss daily fantasy, but it doesn't hurt to continue to look at, of course, the projections because of the over unders, but. I'm just an old DFS player too, and even Vegas, I kind of miss that. If anything, I don't want to say that would cause me to move out of Vegas, but wouldn't mind playing some DFS and winning some big prizes. I won a contest one time, gang, a good one. Let me tell you. So, all right, maybe that's why I don't have to go back to work at my age, and I'm just sitting here. Schlepping plays with you guys. Join me over at Winnable. I wish we could do some DFS. All right, Ziggy here. Sixers -5. He likes the Sixers. And Andre Drummond, he might be washed. I certainly like the matchup tonight against Podol. All right. Fernando says 71. He's got 76 -5. That's 7. Oh, 76ers -5. Okay, I get it. All right, let's move on here to our next game now with the they just told me that the 76ers and the Raptors are going to battle for the cellar in the East. You better take that back. The Brooklyn Nets are the worst team, I think, right now. And, hey, I want the Nets to be a good team, but I think the Nets might be the worst here coming in to the season. They're so bad they're a 12-point underdog to the Orlando Magic. Now, we know the Magic are probably dramatically improved right now. We knew they were already improved last season. We knew they were a growing, young, exciting team with Suggs, Banchero, Carter, good, fun team to watch too. But man, a 12-point favorite here in this one. They might beat up on the Nets. Watch out. I might be willing to lay something here. Go ahead and give me your picks. Go ahead and start if you want there in this one. Brooklyn has actually won 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams coming into this one. I would think for Brooklyn here, Cam Thomas certainly would be a player I would think could have some success here. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. You see right now, though, pretty much 215s all around. So I really haven't seen a dramatic move to the over necessarily. I'm going to be down on Schroeder in this matchup today for the Nets. So got maybe one guy over, one guy under here for the Nets. It's a tough matchup for some of the Magic, but they're probably just too good here. Banchero will probably have a monster game here, actually. But, Wagner could be bogged down a little bit. And maybe for Wendell Carter here, maybe some of his numbers, maybe the Magic will have a little bit of defense here for the Nets. I'm going to take the Magic here to roll in this one against the Mets here. The Nets. It's going to take a few weeks here, certainly. Oh, man, and look at the Mahach is getting a little upset here. He came back to win the second set 6-3, but he's no match here in the third set against Draper. So, all right, we're having some rough tennis this morning. Okay, let's see what you guys have here in the chats, if anything, on this one. We've got R. Thompson's joining me here with the Magic. Oh, Markel says Magic first half and full game. And Ziggy likes the Magic as well. Kawhi Brooks here is on Magic first. It's all Magic, man. Oh, it's all Magic, man. He's a magic man, mama. He's got the magic hands. Yep. Here's Magic for Michelangelo. Here's Twisted. Likes the over here in this one. One late night so long ago when I was not so strong, Like he looked right through me. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Here we go. Magic for Twisted. I can't get it out here in the morning. Thomas says it is a consensus play here for the Magic. So I'm on the Magic, and you guys are too at this point. And Ziggy says they have been able to cover some double digits at home. All right. Wow, Markel's awesome, man. Yep, he had the Timberwolves last night, and I had the Kings. That's what it was. And it did come down to the wire yesterday, of course, with Anthony Edwards making those free throws there yesterday. And let's see here. Fernando says, maybe this number seems a little too low. It is the lowest total here on the card today, that's for sure. And Old Dean says, do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? All right. When the music is groovy, Pacers and the Knicks here in this one, with the Knicks favored at home by 5.5. We're stepping up in class here at least a little bit, but the Knicks did fall, of course, in that opening game, 132 to 109. We see, talk about some of these big numbers by some of these defenses here right now. But the Pacers did a nice job in their opener here to get the victory, 115 to 109. So take a look at this one here with the Pacers and the Knicks. Classic matchup. Feels like here between these two. The Pacers have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams coming in to this one. You certainly got to think that Halliburton, whatever was going on in the first half of that last game, they certainly cleaned it up a little bit. I think he got a great, support from Siakam there. But I do like the matchup here for Halliburton. I think he has a pretty strong matchup here, certainly. The Knicks want to preach defense, but they've got to prove it here at this point right now. Could the Knicks be overrated at this point. The widely reported steam came in on the over in this game. The total here right now, as I said, at 227, I'd say, opened as low as 225. So a little bit of a subtle move, but no doubt reported steam here in this one. And, well, it's moved higher, and I kind of like it to go over in this one with Halliburton. Should have a strong matchup and a good offensive game. Siakam putting up massive numbers. Miles Turner, yeah, he was out there blocking some shots last game, but I think he'll probably be able to contribute some because Cat, what are we going pardon me, what are we going to see from Cat here, honestly, defensively, with the Knicks? So maybe even for Turner, he could have some marginal success. For the Knicks, I like some of their matchups so here as well offensively, including Brunson, including Bridges, including Hart. And Cat's matchup against Turner, I'd probably be fading Cat here tonight in this one. So go ahead if you have your comments or plays here. I'm ready to go in this one. Achua is going to be out for the Knicks. Mitch Robb is still out. He'll be missing with an ankle injury. Toppin is probable. And Isaiah Jackson is questionable for Indiana. Got a few comments from you here in this game between the Pacers and the Knicks. All right. And let's see here. Ziggy's going to start us off here. He's got the Knicks. And Markel says maybe the Knicks will be blowing them out. And he doesn't like the Knicks, but he thinks it could be a blowout here against the Pacers tonight. Justin likes the Knicks. Markel, I got some technical issues. MMA guy, he just stops in. I don't even think he sticks around. That's the type of guy he is. Just having a little technical issues will be resolved in about a week. So hopefully you can bear with me. If not, please, well, I know you'll be here, my friend. Thank you. But I got just a bad, computer over here with a bad fan. But all my notes and databases are on it. So going to have to do some transferring of the information. And we just wouldn't have as good of a show if I didn't have that computer right now. So apologize again to everyone, and especially to the boss for that noise. So, but some popcorn wouldn't be bad right now. Art Thompson is on the Knicks. Kawhi says, give me the Pacers first half. Michelangelo going to ride here with an over. Hey, I've got 2 overs here so far in the NBA. How about it? Twisted likes Pacers and the over. Super True story here today. Thank you, Super True. And Fernando on the Knicks here as well. So it actually, thank you, Art Thompson. It actually is a lot louder here than it. I've gone back and listened to the show, and I know it is more. It's actually more subtle and quieter. I don't say quieter, but it's louder here to me sitting here than when I'm talking to you. I've gone back and I can hear myself fine. I can hear it grinding in the background, but it is absolutely driving me crazy. As soon as my handicapping is over, I slam the lid on it. I'm hoping to fix it, but okay. Markel says, Ramon, do not go under today just because he's up against Miles Turner, one of the better defensive players, certainly here, in my opinion. Do not go under. Cat is ready to go off, he says here. Probably after, last game was a little bit rough. Thomas says he's got a consensus move here on the Knickerbockers tonight. Knickerbocker, please. Take the Knicks, says our Team Steam consensus so far, laying some points here with the Knicks. All right. All right, here. Let's see. We got a few more here with Ziggy. I ended up with. I think I got an HP. The problem with this one, it was one of those like Chinese no name Amazon deals. Jimmy's Teeth is here today. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you being here. And he says, boss will buy me a new. Maybe. I think I think Mike will buy me a new computer one day. I think he'll buy me a lot of things, or at least he's going to make it possible for us to have a bunch of success here with the Sports Money Network. But that's not what we're here about. I'm here because this is just great for me to be with you guys here in the chat. For someone like me in the lifestyle that I'm living right now, this is very important to me, and I wouldn't give it up for the world here, to be honest with you. Okay, Pistons and Cavs. We got a double-digit favorite here right now with the Cavs at home, favored by 10.5, make it 11. It feels like here the line on screen might be a little bit stale, actually, as we've seen this one get up to 11 or so here now, and the total is up to 228. The widely reported steam did come in on the over, and this one really has moved. Those other ones seemed a little bit more subtle. This one opened up as low as 224. We've seen it move higher here in this one. And for the Cavs, they've beaten the Pistons in 5 straight meetings, and they've also defeated the Pistons in 5 straight meetings at home. Those are not the same 5 straight meetings necessarily. They also won a couple of games in Detroit. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under, which certainly is interesting given the information that we just said on this wild move. So I'm going to take the Cavs here. Lay more big. I'm going to lay more points. I think John Shaw said it's underdog day, so I could be in trouble here. But the Cavs are going to be that team defensively this season. Again, it feels like right. Given so far, we saw in the first game they did a pretty awesome job. 136-106. We mentioned that game already, so I would think. Cunningham, look, could have a big game, but I'd probably go under with Cunningham today. I'd probably also go under with Ivy. Now, Jalen Duren had a real nice game for Detroit despite that loss. I thought he played pretty well in the game against Indiana. He had 13 points and 13 rebounds in that game. I probably would fade him also, though, here today. For the Cavs, I'm definitely going to be on Spider. I'm going to be on Jared Allen, looks like, here today. And I've also got to like this matchup here for Dean Wade. All right, see what you guys have here with the chat. I'm going to lay the points in this one. I know everybody probably going to think this was going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not so sure. Here we go. Okay, Michelangelo says he does not want to be in the. He says, "Leave me out. Leave me out of the consensus." Well, even I faded the consensus and paid the price. All right. Pistons here for Ziggy. He's going to take those big points here, no doubt about it. Terrell says Pistons are improved. I was expecting improvement in that first game, certainly, but 115 to 105 in that opener. All right, for now, Kawhi says he's got Cavs first half. Fernando says, what did you go with, Ramon? I went with the over. I'm sorry if I didn't say it, actually, Fernando. I'm thinking that maybe I didn't now. So I am on the over with the Pacers and the Knicks. I'm going to back that steam. Sorry about that. I don't miss my pick too often anymore. Markel, Cavs first half. Stay away from that full game number, maybe he's saying there. And Twisted said he's got the Cavs. Lay the big points and go over. All right. Thank you, gang. Move on to the next one here with the Hawks. Favored here over the Hornets in this one. You got the Hawks favored by 5 in this one over the Hornets. Okay, that's what's going on. But you know what? Are the Hornets improved? We kind of tried to talk them up a little bit. They obviously did a pretty good job getting the win in that first game, they really came on and looked, well, pretty good. I don't know. What can we expect from the Hornets here moving forward right now? I've got to think that in this matchup against the Hawks, I do like Mikal Bridges certainly here. I like Terrence Mann. Certainly, I think there is an injury designation on Green. Let's check out the injuries here a little bit. Josh Green, questionable with an Achilles injury coming into this one. They're also going to be missing a couple other guys here for Atlanta. Zeller's out. Buffkin's out. Bogdanovich is out. Some injuries going on both sides here in this one. I would think for Atlanta here, I would prefer DeAndre Hunter in his matchup, but I might be down on Jalen Johnson here in this one. He had 11 points and 10 rebounds in the win over Brooklyn. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here in this game with Charlotte and Atlanta. It was as high as 230.5. Right now it's about 227. Yeah, that number is wrong there on the screen. That's my power rating number, so I don't want to. Well, you know what? Let me give that out since I kind of blew it there. Maybe I'll just pivot to the side here, but I like the under in this game at 227. I think I might have typed in my power rating number at 223 there. So let me just give out the under here as my play. That's what I like actually here in the game between Charlotte and Atlanta. The Hornets have covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams coming into this one. Maybe not much from you guys in this matchup. Let's see what you got with why Brooks says he likes the Hawks. In the first quarter, Justin's got Lonzo to go over in his PRA. And Justin talking about Miller being out of the lineup. Here's Twisted on the Hornets and the under. Fernando going to go under here with me. It feels like Ziggy is on the Hornets. Good crew here today with the Chat All-Stars. We'll keep it going here with our next matchup. The Grizzlies will take on the Rockets in this one, with the Rockets favored by 2.5. We've seen some steam here actually come in on the Rockets to take it to 3.5. Some widely reported steam here on the Rockets in this one. There also was steam on the over here that took it up to 224 right now. So, and I had these numbers typed in pretty early this morning, a few hours ago, so several hours ago here certainly. So these are almost real-time moves, except for the fact that I type them in manually. Where did they go? There we go. Grizzlies and the Rockets. Memphis has won 10 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams coming in for Memphis here. It looks like a tough matchup for me, actually. I think the Rockets, to me, might have I'm going to say they're going to be drastically improved defensively this season. We've already seen the Rockets start their gradual improvement with this young team, but you look at what Sengun did last game. I mean, he was impossible. You guys talked about it in the chat. He signed that massive contract extension, and talk about a guy who probably deserves it, right? I mean, you hear a lot about players getting paid and whatnot, but kind of an underrated player, and for him to get $185 million, it's not like they overpay. It doesn't feel like he's overpaid. It feels like actually he is a star in the making. He's already a very good player, but how about that game? 25 points last time out, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals for Alperen Sengun. A massive, massive contract he signs, and man, did he look good in that first game for the Houston Rockets. I know they lost the game, but he, to me, stood out big time. They were the ones that lost to choke that lead to the Hornets and end up losing 110 to 115. So who do you like in this one with these two? I would think like I said, for Memphis, I'm worried about pretty much the lineup up and down. We'll see right now with Zach Edey matched up against Sengun and injuries certainly for Memphis here as well. They were able to get the win in that first game, barely, right? It was an exciting finish. And we'll see what you guys are saying here in this one. My players, so I'm on Sengun, and I'm also going to be probably on Jabari Smith. He definitely flopped a little bit in that game. 8 points, 5 rebounds in the 110-105 loss to Charlotte. Okay, here we go. And hello to Razor. Razor had such a great time last night. Thank you for having me on. And I know I'm part of the team, but I missed all the shows, but I'm going to be available, I think, for our NFL coverage on Thursday night. And Justin there maybe corrected me. I thought I did say LaMelo, actually. But you know what? I might have been thinking about Lonzo because of and we'll talk about the Bulls here in a second, so we can wait on that. But boy, was I excited when Lonzo hit that shot. R. Thompson's on the Grizzlies here. I know, and believe me, I know, the difference between these two. I would love watching those Chino Hills. I used to watch those Chino Hills games, man, every single one of them. I mean, that was for someone who's watched a lot of high school basketball in my life, I made that appointment viewing to watch those Chino Hills games. They were on YouTube, remember, with Lonzo. And, man, remember he'd be hitting the, 40-footers every time. LaMelo was the bit player in that one with all the Ball brothers. R. Thompson's on the Grizzlies here. Kawhi Brooks says, give me the first quarter and the first half. Grizzlies, Fernando wants to go under here in this one. The widely reported steam came in on the over, and I'm not sure about if it's any good. The total was 219.5, and we're all the way up to 224 here. Ziggy's on the Rockets on this one. And, Calvin had a rough one. Oh, man, I don't like to see that. And I wish it was, I don't want to see anybody lose their whole bankroll there or anything like that. And we're trying to pace ourselves here a little bit. All right. Chase says he likes the Edey double-double here. He likes the matchup against Alperen Sengun. I don't, man. I think Alperen Sengun going to be eaten up here on Zach Edey tonight. Memphis money line here for Terrell. He says a bounce back year with Ja. And Grizzlies for Twisted. And Twisted also going with the under here. All right. And I'll take the Rockets here to win this one over Memphis. They see the move on the Rockets, so I was kind of teetering back and forth between premium. I like this total here as well, I think. So let me go with the Rockets here. That's my favorite play, it feels like, here on the game, and the line has moved a little bit. So let me take the Rockets here in this one against the Grizz at home here tonight. All right, here's the Bucks and the Bulls in this one, and Lonzo Ball. Certainly, yeah, he's coming off the bench right now, but man, I was so excited when he made that 3-pointer. And whether or not, Lonzo's overrated in his career, hey, those are tough, man, when you got, 2 back-to-back knee injuries here. It'll change the way he is, certainly. He became more of a defensive force and a facilitator. We know he's a terrific passer, actually, and just a big fan. So that's all. The Bulls got some other good talent here as well with Sexton. I mean, with let me get the right game here. with Zach Levine here today. He's my prop player over maybe here for the Bulls. A widely reported steam came in on the over. Look at this total here, 235. It opened as low as 230, and I might be willing to do it. I might just do it on the show. I've already gotten burned trying to go under here a little bit in some of these high-scoring totals that we've seen so far, but I kind of think this one may be right as far as the total over is concerned, especially for the Bucks coming off the big win, the easy win there, it felt like in the opener, but with Lillard here in this one, with Trent, with Prince. Now, we do have injury concerns certainly coming into this one. You've got Giannis on the injured list, but he is probable with a knee injury. And also Middleton, of course, out. Brook Lopez is probable. Alonzo is going to be out of this game with a rest here. So maybe he will need a little bit of he'll need to be brought along. I'm sure he'll actually get a lot of rest given the nature of his injury. So no Lonzo, it appears, here tonight. I'm going to go over in this one with Milwaukee and Chicago. I like the over. I know it's gone up pretty high here, so just going to use it as my free play here on the show. I'd rather try the over still than go under. See if you guys have a play here. No, maybe not here in this one. Markel says, give me Giannis to go over. Here, let's see. Yeah, he is probable in this one. He had 25, 14, and 7 in that win over Philly. And also for Lopez, like I said, he is listed as probable. He had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 blocks in that game, in that first game. So I'm going to take the over the big number here. So is Ziggy here in this one. Chase says, do you like Levine? I like Levine here. I'm going to go with Levine over White with my question here from Chase. I think it's close, though. But I think the matchup is just a little bit better for Levine against probably matched up on Prince mostly. Game blouses. Bulls plus 9.5 and over here for Twisted. All right, we got just a few more to go here, and then we'll look at hockey and college football on this sports equinox. The next game of the Warriors taking on the Jazz. I tried to start that game a little early. The Warriors on the road here, 2.5. No, they're up to 3.5, I think, now for the most part. Let's update that. Warriors minus 3.5 in the total. 232, maybe 233 or so here in this one. The Warriors, of course, won their opening game. The Jazz were defeated here. We'll see. We've got some injuries of note here, or at least some injury designations. Steph Curry bothered by a hip here. He's actually questionable in this one. That makes it a little bit tricky here. But the way you've got the line moving here a little bit, maybe his status is good to go. You have Draymond. He's got mental health issues, but he's listed on the injured list with a knee problem. Again, Draymond doing the same things, right? Here's the thing about Draymond, right? Is it really just this one dude that seems that, the world is just picking on him? He is that guy, right? I mean, he is insufferable. I would not want to spend 1 minute with Draymond Green. What a miserable human being this guy is here. Hopefully he can be a positive influence still on the Warriors. But, one game, one call, whatever, right? Hey, okay, he's a competitor, right? So is every other guy in the league, right? It's not you, buddy. Or it is you, buddy, actually. So, anyways, he's questionable with a knee injury. Jazz, Johnny Chusang going to be out here. Isaiah Collier going to be out as well for the Jazz. Might be a pretty tough matchup here for Keon George, for Colin Sexton, even for Markkanen here. It could be a little bit of a tough matchup. One thing I do like so far, Taylor Hendricks is pretty good, 12 points in that game, in the last game. So I think Hendricks could be okay here. And hopefully Green has a rough time here. But I would think Wiggins is probably my guy on the Warriors here today. But for me, I'm going to end up on the under in this game with the Warriors and the Jazz. See if you guys, they both went over in the first game. Warriors scored 139 points. Jazz, remember, lost that game 126-124. Markel says, give me the Jazz on the money line. Fernando's going to go over here in this one. JW says Draymond wouldn't want to hang out with me. Well, that's his problem. Apparently no one wants to hang out with me. Except you guys. Joke's on you guys. All right. Here. Let's see what we got. Warriors and under here for Twisted. And JW is on the Jazz. Why wouldn't Draymond want to hang out with me? I'm cool. I'm not a dick. Well, maybe I am, actually. That's what they're telling me anyway. All right. That's one of the things, I mentioned where, leaving the other channel. The talent over there, they weren't too fond of me. Everyone kept complaining. The talent over on that other, they were kind of complaining to the bosses a little bit that I was not a good actor, or I wasn't a good co-host, or I wasn't a good guy. So that's all that was. That's all that kind of a little bit to it as well. Maybe I'm just not a people person. That's why I'm sitting here all alone. All right. All right. That's going to do it here for the Warriors and the Jazz. I'm taking the under as my play here. And Draymond's a good guy off the court, punching his teammates in practices. Real good guy. All right. I guess that's on the court too. You're right. You're right, JW. Draymond has an organization that supports a lot of good things and things like that. I'm all about it. All right. Let's see here. Yep, Johnny. Well, I've been reporting on. I'm an old community reporter and been doing it for 37, 38 years, so never going to stop doing that. All right. Thanks, you guys. That's going to do it here for that game. Let's move on to the Suns taking on the Lake Show here tonight. The Lakers 1-0. Who knew? Maybe this is a new era for Lakers basketball with the James family. Hey, okay, whatever. It is what it is, but they won the game. I didn't expect them to look that good, but hey, you know what? Maybe credit to JJ Redick. Maybe we've got a sleeper of a coach here a little bit. He looks the part anyway. I mean, you're not going to doubt this man knows. Look, he was under Coach K, right? I mean, look at the path he's traveled here from in his career. So maybe he is the right solution, as the Lakers have been going through all these coaches, trying to find a way to do something here. Look, the Lakers have had some success in the James era, certainly. But all right, let's talk about this matchup, though, against the Suns. The Suns won their first game as well, so they looked pretty good. KD looked just fine. I thought, let's see what Beal's status is. I think I see an injury tag here on Beal coming in. He is probable with the shoulder. Okogie, he is out, hamstring injury here. Grayson Allen, he's probable for the Lakers. Hood Schifino, we did see he would be, I think he's ruled, it says doubtful. I think I read last night that he would be out of this game. Coloco, he's still going to be out here right now. So, but I think it's pretty good health there to a certain extent for the Lakers coming in. So I do love Austin Reeves, certainly in this game. He'd be the guy that I would probably look for on the Lakers to be able to beat his totals, but I'm down on Russell. I'm down on Rui Hachimura in their matchups here. For the Suns, I definitely like the front court, at least with KD, at least with Nurkic here in this one. And I'm going to fade the Lakers again. I'm going to take the Suns tonight in the matchup against the Lakers. The Lakers have defeated the Suns in 4 of the last 5 meetings here in LA between these two teams. Also, the under has come in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. So the widely reported steam did come in on the under. It was as high as 228, and now it's down to 225.5. Another one where I think I put my personal number up there a little bit, but maybe with some of these unders, that's where I'm getting beat, because you see my numbers maybe are a little bit lower than, and I'll adjust. I mean, that's how I roll. So, okay, I'm going to take the Suns, though, to win here against the Lakers. I guess they're getting a 1.5. Yeah, maybe we can grab a 1.5 here just in case. I like the Suns, though, here in this one. Let's get the comments from the chat. See what you have. Oh, thanks, JW. I know. I appreciate you. I just I have a problem with guys like that, that don't behave like everybody else. Like they are being singled out, right? Draymond's a Karen. He's a Karen. He's a real-life Karen. Here's Lakers for Markel. Ziggy on the Lakers. Suns for J-Dub. And let's see, Thomas thinks. You home, Thomas? And JW talking about that timeout to stem the tide there a little bit. And Chase says the Lakers have been getting the best of the Suns for sure. Markel says I might be crazy. Are there Bronny props out there? I know there were some special ones in that first game, but you wonder how long the Lakers can. I guess they'll just continue to roll with Bronny. How about Chase, though? Bronny, 10 points or more. He'll pay off if something can happen. He will. It's going to be a payoff. Twisted likes the Lakers. Kawhi, Suns first half. Jermaine is here. Hello, Jermaine. And we did, Jermaine. The basketball's just about over, my friend. I better, we might move the show up an hour for Jermaine. Because Ramon gets up too early. I am not a morning person. I only decided to be a morning person when I started the morning steam. I'm a late sleeper. As a poker dealer, I stay up late back in the day. Okay, Jermaine giving some of his plays out here. Public Enemy says Lakers to roll here. Easy. All right. Oh my gosh, is it Thomas's birthday Is it Thomas's birthday this weekend? Happy birthday to Thomas! All right. Okay, I'll take the Suns. You guys are down. You guys are making it like the Suns are no good. I thought the Suns had one of those, trifecta of players, don't they? I mean, they've got Booker, they've got Beal, they've got Durant. Isn't that one of those superstar teams here coming into the season? The thing about the Suns, also getting a new owner, I think here that it happened so fast that the Suns had to kind of regroup a little bit. It felt like here, and maybe it's maybe there's a little bit of KD. He's got his own issues, if you know what I mean. But again, this is supposed to be that one of those super teams. So, okay. And Markel says they barely beat the Clippers. What's wrong with the Clippers? Hey, aren't the Clippers going to be any good? Hey, look, those guys are injured, whatever. Hey, just leave them on the bench. Let's build with what we got. I actually thought in that game, I'm not doing it to get on Markel here. I thought the Clippers actually, I thought it was an okay play. I thought it was an okay performance by the Clippers, despite the loss there. So, okay. But the arena is awesome there, certainly. I don't know if you guys saw the Clippers arena, but I mean, you probably saw it on TV and everything. I watched a video on YouTube of a vlogger here, not to be confused with sports betting influencer, but I watched a vlogger tour it on the game against Dallas. So it wasn't as crowded, I guess, but showing all the different features of the stadium and everything, the wall of people on the one end. But more so creepy was going in and you do a face recognition when you go in, right? And with some of the club seating, which is most of the play, it's like a lot of club seating in that stadium. You pay for everything with facial recognition. You walk up and you walk up to the sushi bar or wherever your nachos, hot dog, whatever you take what you do, and then it, I don't know how it works, but then the price comes up on your phone, like your tickets through your phone, your facial recognition. You look at the thing, you start buying, you pull a beer out of the thing. You don't pay anybody. You just walk up, start drinking it, you get charged. I don't know how that works. I hope I don't end up with a, $5,000 food bill because it didn't work. But pretty crazy that Clippers Stadium, the Intuit Dome. One more game in the NBA between the Pelicans and the Trailblazers tonight. The Pelicans obviously going to be a favorite here on the road following their season opening win, 123-111. They come in and take on the Blazers here in this one. These two teams have met for 5 straight unders here in Portland, and also 9 of the last 11 games have gone under. New Orleans has defeated Portland in 5 straight meetings here in Portland. The Pelicans have a good time coming to the Rose City. Should be a pretty good matchup tonight for Brandon Ingram, I would think, here. Even for Jose Alvarado. He's a player that, plays his role, but he's got a pretty good matchup here. I'm concerned about Scoot Henderson's defense, actually. I know we're talking him up here a little bit, but we'll see. For the Blazers, I like the matchups here for DeAndre Ayton against Zion. Whatever Zion's issues here a little bit. He was ill here, just came up ill all of a sudden, but I think he's going to be okay after missing the opener against the Bulls in that one. So we're expecting Zion here back tonight. Few players, though, are missing indeed, including DeJounte Murray. He's got an injured hand here. He's going to miss some time. Trey Murphy currently out with a hamstring problem, and Herb Jones will be in here in this one. He's probable. Robert Williams is going to be out here still for the Blazers, and they're missing the other players we've mentioned as well. So the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. The Sharps were hot on betting these totals here early on. They did take the under. It's down here now to 218 or so, maybe 218 and a half. I actually didn't see much movement here coming in. And with the line 5.5, I'm going to lay a favorite here. I'm going to take the Pelicans on the road minus 5.5 and get your comments real quick before we get into hockey and football. Real quick, man. Here's Pelicans and over. Pelican. Here you got a little CJ coming back to Portland again. And I think CJ, to me, I thought he was one of the best players in the opening game. I thought he was pretty terrific in the game against Chicago, 23 points on 9 of 19 shooting and 5 assists. I thought McCollum was real strong in that game. All right. I think that's it for you guys on the NBA comments on the 10-game card. Thank you so much. And again, we'll expand the trends a little bit. I really like just the head-to-heads pretty much. I'm not going to say a team's, won 9 of their last 10 and they went back and they won, 8 straight and still didn't make the playoffs or something like that from last year. I'm worried about the now. I'm worried about series history. I'm worried about what happens here to start the season. That's when we'll start to expand our trends here a little bit. So hopefully this level of coverage is good to start us off. Let's go to what next? All right. Let's go to I want to go to the National Hockey League because actually the Ottawa Senators have just been steamed here to start the coverage. They were steamed just 7 minutes ago while we were talking here a little bit. I'm going to take Ottawa, so if we want to just get into it right now, probably missed the move a little bit, certainly, but I'm going to take Ottawa on the road against BGK today. Look, we're definitely seeing some mixed results here a little bit so far in the NHL. I don't know if we're going to see a shift of power or anything necessarily, but I might be looking to take a few dogs here. And, well, this one feels like the value is left a little bit. Let me update the line because it's certainly not $1.55 anymore. Mostly down to about $1.30 or $1.35 here. So if you like the Knights, actually, you're going to get a discount here a little bit. But I think the Sharps might be the right on this one. And the total here has definitely moved to the under at 6 over 20 or so. Let's put the line back up here with the Senators and the Golden Knights. The widely reported steam was on the under as well. Here, Vegas has won 5 straight meetings against the Senators here in Las Vegas. But that didn't stop the Sharps from taking Ottawa here in this one. And I'm going to take Ottawa here in this game. Let me call up the puck line maybe here a little bit. See if I can get a little bit more. Oh. Okay, here we go. For the Senators coming in, they are 2-4 to the under so far this season. The Knights have been a big time over team. We know that they're 5-2 here on the puck line. 4-2-1 overall. They're 5-1-1 to the over so far this season. Like I said, that steam came in under. I'm not sure yet. Just give me Ottawa here in the game tonight. Let me see here. I want to also call up, make sure we check on the goalies here real quick. It's just a 4-game card, so we'll keep you abreast here on that. But that move just came in within the last 10 minutes or so. Okay, Shea Theodore. He is upgraded to probable for VGK. And let's see here. Ullmark is questionable for Ottawa here as of yesterday. But let me see here if we can pencil in. I'm showing Ullmark could be the goalie in this one. I better just leave it at that. Okay, a little bit of college football steam coming in right now. Central Michigan is taking some steam here at plus 13 points in their game against Miami of Ohio. Yes. Central Michigan down to about 12 or 12 and a half. Okay, there we go. All right, let's keep it moving here right now. Oh, I want to get your plays. What am I doing here? going to be Vegas for Ziggy. R. Thompson's on Vegas. And let's see here. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. He said, there's your NBA. Take care, my friend. Great job. Fernando going to go under here in this one. Yeah, maybe we could see Swayman, JW, no doubt about it. Like I said, Omar does have an injury designation. And just going to have to kind of leave it at that right now. I don't know. I don't have the information necessarily. Lando says VGK goal line here. He's got Eichel to score 2 points. So it sounds like I'm against the chat here for sure in this one. Right, next up is the Islanders taking on the Devils. Here in this one, you got the Devils, $1.40, and the total, I think this one's gone up. Yeah, it's 6.5 under 20. Could be 6 over 25. No matter the case, the total has gone up here for sure in this one between the Islanders and the Devils. New Jersey has lost 6 of the last 8 meetings against the Islanders here at home. The Islanders do a pretty good job against the Devils. And you look at this line, it was $1.40, $1.35 here, but now it's all the way down to $1.20 at Sharpbook, circa $1.20, $1.30, $1.28 at Bovada, $1.24 at Bet Online. There's no doubt this line has gone down. The move is on the Islanders here in this one, and I'm going to take another road dog. I've got the Islanders here to beat the Devils. Mentioned the series history. I would say the Islanders have also covered the puck line in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. They've also covered the puck line in 8 of the last 11 New Jersey's covered the puck line in 8 of the last 11 meetings at home. So Islanders have covered the puck line in 5 of the last 6 overall between these two. But New Jersey's covered the puck line in 8 of the last 11 at home against the Isles. And the Devils are usually favored in this matchup. All right, see what your play might be here in this one. You've got the Islanders coming in with a 2-2-2 record thus far, 1-5 on the puck line. So they haven't been a good favorite, that's for sure. They obviously have been okay here in a dog roll a couple of times, but for the Devils, they come in 5-4-1 here at this point. 5-5 on the puck line so far. I'll take the Islanders here. A little bit of plus money. Seems like that's where the Sharps are headed. See what you have here in this one. Ziggy went over. I think he was going to. That might have been the last game here. I'm not sure. Lando going over here. That might have been the last game, I think. I'm not sure actually in that one. And JW talking about tomorrow. Well, a big card tomorrow, man. We're going to be here a long time. I think Fernando maybe going with the Islanders here. Hello to Cal Bear, taking the Islanders with me. All right. And Lando says maybe a draw here. Maybe the New Jersey Devils cover trend as road dog. Maybe saying the Devils are better as a road dog than as a home favorite. All right, we'll keep it moving right now with our next matchup here. The Predators going to take on the Blackhawks tonight. The Predators going to be a big road favorite. The Blackhawks, of course. Let's see here. I want to make sure we get this one right. Let me pass along some steam here real quick in college football, actually, because this is a game we're going to talk about here in a few moments. The Louisville Cardinals, Boston College Eagles, we're seeing the total moving right now over here. Steam is coming in right now. Louisville and Boston College. the total was 53.5, but right now we're seeing this total at 54 over at DraftKings. It's 54 at Circa. It might have been 54 before we got the news here a little bit on this move, but steam coming in right now. Louisville, Boston College, over the total. All right, let's continue on though with the hockey here. Predators and Blackhawks here. Real tough, right? Because the Blackhawks have been, they pretty bad here so far this season. Maybe even worse. Feels like they might even be worse than teams like the Sharks at this point. They are 2-4-1, 3-4 on the puck line. So I don't know. Could there be improvement here for the Blackhawks? The Predators are not looking good for whatever reason. They're 1-5 coming in here right now, and that's not great. 2-4 on the puck line so far this season for Nashville. They have won the last 5 meetings here into Chicago, and they've also won 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Now, Chicago is 4-13 on the puck line in the last 17 meetings. So it has been a dominant series here for Nashville, but the Predators are definitely having some issues, it feels like, here coming in to the season. We know the Blackhawks have plenty of issues long term, but I don't know. They got a couple of wins here. I guess I was quick to judge. It feels like here on the Blackhawks, just going off of what we've seen here, in the last few years, for sure, last several years. Let's make it clear. So has Nashville declined that much? They're still $1.75 favorite here tonight on the road. In fact, down to $1.65 at a lot of spots. For the Blackhawks, let me see that puck line. I guess I'm going to try to take the Blackhawks here on the puck line. Current line here for Chicago is at plus 1.5 at minus $1.65. Man, that is uncomfortable. I guess that's why it's my free play. I'll try the Blackhawks here on the puck line tonight. Maybe I'll sprinkle them here. Can the Predators, is this a team that could finally turn it around against here? Let's see here. Well, JW says, wait for the lineups to come out before you place a bet. If I did that, I'd never have a show. All right, here we go. Lando says the Predators doing pretty good, though, against teams that are struggling. He says they're covering that puck line against teams that have lost 2 or more games. Jermaine says, I got to lay it. R. Thompson says, take Nashville. I want to say hello and welcome to Stir and Company. First time shouting out Stir. Stir is a Sports Money Channel member here, certainly. So appreciate Stir. Says, who's in goal for Chicago? Well, I'm showing Mrazek as the possible goalie here today. I've been wrong before. I could really just go with what most of the majority sites are, saying, unless there has been confirmation or, talk from the beat writers, or if they, are out there in the morning skate. So I know Mrazek had an injury designation, but I believe actually he has been confirmed as the starter in this game. So, all right. Pretty sure on that. All right, and let's take a look here. I think, the only thing I could say in contrary to JW, who's doing an awesome job here, by the way, is that one job, though, of the handicapper is, if possible, JW, and I think you would agree with this, so if you can speculate properly on the injuries that are to be announced later or to come out. For example, it can affect your advantage on the line. So there is a little bit to that, but I agree with you. The confirmation there certainly as part of the consideration. I guess that's what I would say. So, okay. Stir and Company, awesome to have you here as well. I'm going to take the Blackhawks today. Okay, and finally, we got the Penguins here on the road against the Oilers. And the Oilers, are they starting to make a little bit of a comeback again already and getting back into form here? Maybe they weren't ready for the season to start. But the Oilers are 2-4-1 right now. Penguins 3-4-1. Oilers just 1-6 on the puck line, not doing very good as a favorite. That's for sure. The Oilers have gone under in 4 of their 7 games so far this season. Meanwhile, Penguins have gone over in 5 of their 8 games so far this season. The last 5 meetings between these two interconference teams in Edmonton have gone over here coming in. Edmonton has also won and covered on the puck line the last 5 games against the Penguins. Oilers have had the Penguins number, but Penguins come in here playing okay. And let's see what their puck line price is today. Oh, that one's only minus $1.35 since they're on the road. Obviously, you're going to get a little better price. Give me the Penguins here. I guess I'm on all the underdogs today in the NHL here, but I'll take them on the puck line at plus 1.5 at minus $1.35. You see, Oilers here, $2.25 or so right now. Maybe down to $2 though at some of the sharp books here in this one. So, all right, maybe you guys have some comments. Oh, I don't have the line up there. I hope Thomas isn't here. He might have left. He would be busting my, the line here. I'll call it 210-ish. Maybe that's right in the middle. Total here 6.5 over minus 135. Oh boy, that thing has gone up. That's a high total, but I guess that's what we could be expecting here tonight with these two teams at 6.5 over at minus $1.35. Wow. Lando says Edmonton team total over 3.5. First period over 1.5. Says the Oilers coming off overtime games have been hitting those team total overs and over 1.5. The overtime doesn't affect them. They come right in. They're still strong. Fernando says lay it all with the Oilers here. R. Thompson's on the Oilers. Everybody's on the Oilers here but me, it looks like. Kawhi, Oilers first period and over 1.5. And Twisted's with me, though. He'll say, give me the Penguins puck line with you, Ramon, and the over. I think Twisted and I were on track together. All right, it's going to do it here for the NHL coverage. And we do have 3 college football. We have 4 college football games today. We just haven't seen the line yet on the FCS Ivy League game between Yale and Penn. I do like that game, and I'll probably send it out on the VIP service. So check me out over at Winnable. And here we go. JW and Twisted were on the Rams. Ramon was on the Rams yesterday as his premium pick. All right. Here we go with Louisville and Boston College. This feels like a pretty solid game here to get us started on Friday night with Louisville, a big road favorite here. BC's done a nice job. Louisville 4-3, 2-2 in conference play so far. Louisville has lost 3 of its last 4 games and have failed to cover in 4 straight games. For the Cardinals, they are just 2-6 in their last 8 tries as a road favorite. They are not road favorites very often. In fact, in the last 4 years, they're usually averaging just twice a year where they're favored on the road. They're also 1-4 under Jeff Grom against the spread when coming in off of a loss. They've gone over in 3 of their last 4 games overall coming into this one. For the Eagles, here, let's get into some steam here right now. I just want to mention it real quick. Kansas and Kansas State. Here, we're going to see some steam under 55 in the game between the Jayhawks and the Cyclones here this Saturday. Kansas State game total under. It was 55.5. We're going to see it here go probably to 54.5 or 54 right now, Kansas and Kansas State. All right. Anyways, for the Eagles here, they won at home against Michigan State. They won at home against Western Kentucky. Boston College is 15-7-1 as a home underdog in their last 23 tries in the roll. BC has gone under in 5 of their 6 games against FCS competition so far this season. Louisville has lost 3 straight when coming in to play Boston College and also failed the spread in those games. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total. The widely reported steam was on the over here in this one. We know right now it's at 54.5. It was as high as 56.5. So maybe a little bit of buyback here in this one, but I like some of these numbers for Boston College as a home dog, and I'm going to grab the Eagles here in this one at plus 7.5 here tonight or so. It says 8 there on the screen, but man, it does feel like it's gone down to 7.5, maybe even 7 here with a little bit of a move on Boston College. I'm going to take the Eagles at home today, and let's see. It's Twisted. He says he's got the dogs a-barking, possibly here in these games today. And let's see here. Jermaine does not like officiating. You know, it's funny because I watched a high school game last night, and the refs were calling a lot of penalties. And the announcers, this is a high school game on YouTube. The announcers on the game were cussing. It was like a high school broadcast. They were using profanity. It was like so disrespectful. Really, you don't expect professionalism. These guys are just setting up their camera. They're wannabe announcers, and everything like that. But their team was getting a bunch of penalties called against them, and it really makes their program not look good, right? I mean, how can you do that? Anyways, that's a little thing that was going on in my life. R. Thompson's on Louisville here. JW says, I don't see BC keeping up in this one, so it does feel like Ramon's on a little bit of an island here. I wanted to go premium in this one. Maybe I'm glad I didn't. You guys seem to like Louisville here in this matchup. I get it. I mean, Louisville's definitely had some big moments here already so far this season. They've got, pretty good quarterback here with Tyler Show, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty tough matchup for him, quite frankly. Now, I know the Eagles aren't going to be able to run against Louisville. They better stick to the air here with Castellanos, with Bond here for the most part. Maybe you can get it to guys like Trayshawn Ward and Robichaux, but I'm going to still take the Eagles here in this one. All right. Keep it moving with Pac-12 action right now with Rutgers taking on USC, a classic matchup in the Big Ten. This is what you come to expect in Big Ten football. This is what Sean Higgs was saying. I thought was hilarious when he was talking about it here. The two teams, Rutgers coming out of their Big East days, USC, the Pac-12, and here we are in today's college football era. like this. We don't have any series history on these guys. I don't think they probably met in 1920 or something like that. Okay, I might have the time out of order here. I think this is actually the late game, but bear with me here on this one. Rutgers has lost 3 straight games, given up a ton of points. They've allowed 30 points a game in those 3 losses, and the offense isn't clicking either. They've had under 300 yards in 3 of their last 4 games coming into this one, but Rutgers are really strong as road underdogs. They're 12-5-1 in their last 18 games as a road dog, and Schiano's always been a terrific road dog, 34-21 against the spread as a road underdog. Now, in conference, Rutgers has not fared well so far, but tough to equate with USC. I'm not sure where that one goes. I do know that Rutgers has failed 8 of their last 10 games against the spread when coming in off of a loss. Now, for the Trojans, they're just 1-4 in the Big Ten so far this season. It's been a disaster. Obviously, whatever is going on with the Trojans right now, with their coaching staff, it's a disaster right now. It feels like it's all unraveling because the pressure is on a guy like Lincoln Riley. You come in, you talk a big game, you've got a big game, but maybe you're just now all of a sudden in the wrong situation with everything that's gone on and the move to the Big Ten. I was big on the Trojans and the move to the Big Ten. I was wrong. And so it just hasn't worked out. And all of a sudden, Lincoln Riley has egg on his face for the most part, it feels like. Now, Riley is 9-5 here with the Trojans, last 14 as a home favorite. Riley has always been a good home favorite, 27-19 in his career as a home favorite. But just got to wonder. Oh, they met 20 years ago, did these teams? Okay, I got it. Favorite USC here, favored by 13. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here, driving this one from as low as 51.5 up to 56.5. Is that really going to happen in this game? I've got the under, gang. I'm sorry. I've got to go under here with these 2 teams tonight. You could chime in. Maybe you do like it over. The move's obviously been on the over here. Make no mistake. So here we go. Let's take a look at your comments. We're almost done with the show here. Kelly, hello to Kelly's here. Yay. Let's see what we got. We've got USC over here. Kelly says Milwaukee owns the Chicago Bulls. Take them on a teaser here. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, Twisted says USC wins. Rutgers covers. He's got it at 27-20 here in this one. Twisted says take Rutgers and go under. I'm going under for sure. Kelly says can't back USC. They've had some crazy travel so far this season, back and forth and back and forth. These West Coast teams will continue to go. They are at home here, but again, they've had a rough travel. And you got Rutgers though too, though coming out west here certainly. Okay. And I'll take the under here in this one with Rutgers and USC. All right, we got a big one here now. Big conference game. Both teams 2-0 here. So in the group of 5, whatever it's called now, we're starting to lose a lot of teams that have any chance to make the college football playoff. These 2 teams have that opportunity. One of them may not after tonight, although they'll get another chance, but could damage their chances here if they don't win this game between UNLV hosting Boise State. Boise State has the top running back in the country in Ashton Genty, one of the top candidates for the Heisman Trophy Award. It'll be hard for UNLV to stop this young man as he continues his assault on the record books, or at least yardage charts here this season for Genty, the way he's been going. They average over 275 yards per game on the ground so far this season. Boise has one loss. This year it was to Oregon, 37-34. They were a 17-point underdog in that game, got the money. They've gone over in 4 of their 5 games against FBS competition so far. Now, Boise is 12-6 last 18 against the spread in the Mountain West, but they are also 12-22 in their last 34 against the spread when coming off of a win. The Rebels have done a great job, especially defensively. They have a great turnover margin as well, plus 12 this season. UNLV is averaging 45 points a game in their last 4 games here right now, because I don't know if it was new anymore, but they had to make the change at quarterback, and well, he looks like he's done a pretty good job here so far, the former Campbell quarterback coming in for UNLV. Odom is 14-6 so far as the UNLV head coach against the spread. UNLV, now they did lose to Syracuse. Syracuse did not have a good performance last night, so you wonder when the step up in competition how it affects UNLV. I only say that because Boise's probably, a pretty decent team here as one of the favorites in the league race here, certainly. So Boise has beaten Vegas in 6 straight meetings, but covered the spread in just 3 of those. They were favored by too many points in 3 of those games. Now, is 3 points too many for this matchup? I don't know. This right now, UNLV is doing some of their greatest work that they've ever done. This is reportedly, or I think by speculation, the most important game in the history of the UNLV program, only topping the other 2 games that were the most important games in the history of the program. Maybe back in the day they had some interesting chances. They had John Robinson was the former head coach at UNLV. Randall Cunningham was the quarterback at UNLV, and they've had some other pretty cool players too. I think of Woods and guys like that. But special team here right now, it feels like, and you get a chance to beat Big Bad Boise at home. This total is 66.5. Now, I'm probably going to go against my numbers here and just make it my free play. I got a feeling that 66.5 might not be. Oh, I'm sorry. The total is 63. Did I put my power ratings up here? What is wrong with Andre Rublev? All he's doing is he's pulling a Draymond over here. I'll call it 63.5 because I like the over, and that's my play. I am going over with Boise and UNLV. I figure Boise's going to run all over UNLV, but I'm feeling they're not going to be able to put the brakes necessarily on the Rebels either. Give me the over here in this one between the Rebels and UNLV. Boise's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games so far this season. The Rebels have gone over in 4 of 7. Boise averaging nearly 47 points a game. All right. Man, that might do it for the show anyway. I know we got some other great games coming up here, certainly. But let me just take a look here real quick and see what you guys said on the UNLV game. And we've got Kelly likes Genty and his running game. And she says, are we on Boise? I'm going premium on this one, Kelly. R. Tomps likes UNLV plus the points. Twisted likes UNLV plus the points and over. Kelly says the teams played last year in that championship game. Yeah, Boise's owned the series against the Rebels, but again, the Rebels have never done this. This is the Boise, let's just say, and again, different players and all that. But as a program, Boise been there, done that. I mean, they've played in a huge games over the years, found their way to the national spotlight. Remember the famous game against Oklahoma, of course, and they've had success. For UNLV, this is uncharted water. So if you're basing it on experience, you might think the Boise State, the program anyway, has the advantage. But, things change here. And like I said, I think part of the Rebels' success, other than the fact that maybe Barry Odom is the man for the job, certainly, is playing in a beautiful stadium rather than that junky old Silver Bowl that they used to have. Johnny Walker says, "Go Rebels!" here. All right, that's going to do it for the morning team. Yeah, you got some great soccer here. We didn't really hear anything from our gang, I don't think. But again, tonight, Atlanta and Miami in MLS action. EPL, Forest is taking on Leicester here today at 3 Eastern. You got Serie A coming up here on Paramount Plus in a little bit. Cagliari and Udinese, followed by Como and Torino. La Liga today, Sevilla and Espanyol. Also, Bundesliga, Mönchengladbach and Mainz. And in French League One, they are taking on Rennes. And also Mexican League tonight. How about it? Mazatlan at Santos and Chivas taking on Puebla. So that's a look at the games anyway. I want to thank everyone for joining me here on the show. Don't forget today, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's go to Mike Money and pre-gaming today. He'll have a great show with all these games, including the World Series, game number 1 tonight between the Dodgers and the Yankees. I guess it's always supposed to be the Dodgers and the Yankees. No teams have met more in the World Series than those two teams. Thank you, Art Tops. Thank you, Lando. Yeah, maybe we could try to get to some Mexican League. Pretty big card here, though, tonight. And I do want to try to package up some Mexican League. But again, everything's got to have – it just seems like I make a billion picks on the show every day, a pick on every game. But, to make it to the winnable stuff, it's got to be cross the I's, dot the T's. Thank you to Kelly. Thank you, Doge. Let me write those plays down right there. How about that? He's got Chivas. He's got Miami. Thank you, Doge. I do like my North American soccer, certainly. So, all right, subs here. Let me write down subs plays. He's got Forest and the under for sub. All right. Thank you. And Johnny says, thank you for the play there yesterday on the Tomateros, the tomato workers of Culiacan in Mexican League Baseball. I don't think I got any Mexican League Baseball just yet, but who knows? Maybe we'll start adding that too. Hey, check us out. Subs is nothing official from him yet. I don't know where you'll put him if we do, but we do know that we do have the community tab over at YouTube. That's where you get more plays from the crew here on the morning's team. Since it is Friday, I will mention, don't forget the UFC action here on Saturday morning. The start time here on the East Coast. Remember, this is in Abu Dhabi, so you're going to have a start time here at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Now, a few minutes after that, if you got to wipe the sleep from your eyes and grab some coffee. But on Saturday, October 26th, the prelims will start at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. The main card starts there at 5 p.m. Pacific. Let me see here if I got this right. On the main card. I better just leave it at that. I don't want to get my times mixed up, but the crew will be here for the whole show, so it doesn't matter. Also, check out First Strike. The guys picked their 4 fights. You could parlay them together, but you had a great preview from Mikey, from Sub was in there as well. Also from Fanatical Jim and from Jeff. They previewed some of the fights. I previewed some fights as well with BB, so you can check that out on YouTube. And great coverage here with our crew on Saturday. Live coverage from Abu Dhabi. Make sure you check us out here on the Sports Money Network, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific. Don't forget, I've got more plays available. You can follow me over at Winnable. This is where I put my best plays there. It's just $19.95 a month, and that's 67 cents a day. So you are supporting me here on the channel. Remember what I say. I was over on a channel that I sold my picks for $25, $35, $45 for just 3, 5, 7 plays maybe, and that was good business. But my business model has changed, and I'm over here right now at Sports Money. I'm still selling some picks here, but you can get free picks from me as well. This is really how you follow my action. So click on the QR code. Hey, you're really just paying for the labor. All right, the picks are free, but I got to sit here and type it all in and send it out. The Winnable app is just such a great option. It allows for those notifications as well. You get the text updates from me. Usually send out between 2 and 3 a day on a slow day. On a busy day, you might get 5 or 7 updates on some of the busy days like this weekend. And I'll also have my picks for the card there in the UFC. I'll have full card picks there tomorrow, so please join me over there at Winnable. All right, and that'll keep me coming back here. Thanks everybody once again in the chat. All right, thank you, J-Dub. Thanks everybody. Twisted, hello. Twisted, thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. More morning steam. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off that 67 cents if you can afford it. And hey, buy me a pizza here tonight. All right. Thanks, gang. Appreciate everybody here joining me on the show. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.